Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games. Alright, so I've been testing this deck out a little bit, and I think it's really awesome, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. So before we get started, I just wanted to thank a couple of customers from my store. One was James, and he played a deck kind of along these lines, but it really got me thinking about the possibilities in Standard Aristocrats. So he was playing more of a beatdown deck, and he recently played it to in that tournament where if he went 12-0, and he was 10-0 before he suffered his first loss. But he was talking about how, I thought this combo was kind of cute, maybe not really playable, but he was talking about how actually devastating it is, because, you throw these cats out there, you can block for days with them, and then just sack them to the Witch's Oven. Damage isn't getting through. You're basically stalling your opponent's board state at the same time draining them. So just kind of, he said it was really good. Now he was playing more along the lines of Knight of the Ebon Legion, Priest of Forgotten Gods, and things like Spawn of Mayhem and stuff like that. Just more of a beatdown strategy. Excuse me. So, but I decided to go sort of an Aristocrats route. So the key piece of the deck, obviously we're talking about, Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. Now you're going to want to play out Cauldron Familiar with the Witch's Oven, obviously. That's sort of the best thing, the best combo we can get going here. Witch's Oven allows you to sacrifice a creature and create a food token. And then Cauldron Familiar, when it enters the battlefield, drains your opponent. So they lose a life and you gain a life. And you can sacrifice a food, when with Witch's Oven, to bring it back from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, we put out the Cauldron Familiar, wait for them to attack, or end of turn. If they attack, we block with the Cauldron Familiar, and before damage we sack it to the Witch's Oven. And then sort of rinse and repeat. Sack the food token, bring the Cauldron Familiar back, and we just keep doing this and draining our opponent. The deck doesn't attack a whole lot. Sometimes we're getting in there with things like Order of Midnight, and from time to time Knight of the Ebon Legion, but mostly it's just going to drain your opponent to death, and it does it fairly quickly. This deck is actually very consistent. So going through a little bit more, Knight of the Ebon Legion, just a good solid creature. One drop, we can pay 3 mana to give it +3/+3 in Death Touch if we happen to do 4 more damage to an opponent in a turn, which definitely happens with this deck, and we start putting counters on it. But the cool thing is, the deck doesn't run a whole lot of removal. It doesn't really need to be honest. So we can just pay 3 into Knight, give him Death Touch, and kill some big Hydra. There's a lot of big gross things out there in Standard right now. People dropping Hydras, big 7/7 Hydras on like turn 5, and Giants and all this kind of stuff. So it's just great to have things with Death Touch on our side. Sanitarium Skeleton is just a great recursive creature. 1 black mana, and then we can pay 3 to return him from our graveyard to hand. So again, we can block, and then just return it to our hand at the end of turn, recast it kind of thing on our next turn. It's a great target for Priest of Forgotten Gods to sack to. And then, Witch's Oven, which we've already went over. Order of Midnight is just a really good quality creature. It gives us, the Gravedigger effect with the Alter Fate Adventure. So for 1 black and 1, we can return a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. So quite often we'll be getting back things like Corpse Knight, Cruel Celebrants. Those are huge targets for people because they don't like getting smacked in the face, which seems pretty reasonable on their part. But good players will also kill your Cauldron Familiar because, if you're in a situation where you've already used up your Witch's Oven for this turn, and then after combat, let's say if you blocked and sacked your Familiar to your Witch's Oven, after combat they might just kill your Familiar if you brought it back or whatever. They'll wait for an opportunity to kill it when the Witch's Oven is tapped, and that sort of breaks the cycle. It ends up making you have to sacrifice another creature to Witch's Oven to get a food token so you can bring your cat back. So good players will wait for an opportunity to target the Cauldron Familiar as well. So Order of Midnight's just really good. Allows us to bring back creatures from our graveyard to our hand, and then we have a 2/2 Flying Beater. Like I said, the deck doesn't punch face a lot with creatures, but there's times when you just want to get in there for that extra 2 damage, or your opponent has put out Planeswalker and you want to be able to fly over his field just to keep that planeswalker down and under control. So Order of Midnight's just a good card for that. Orzhov Enforcer is really good, and thanks to Danny for putting me on that. I was originally running Hunted Witness in this deck, and I think Hunted Witness is good, although it doesn't work all that well with Ayara. So it was a little less synergistic, but lower mana cost and create a 1/1 soldier was kind of a good deal for 1 white mana. But Orzhov Enforcer is just really good. So like I said, I showed this deck list to a couple of people in the store before I built it, and was happy for their input, and Danny put me onto this one. I think he's just really good. Another strong consideration for the deck, a couple other guys were really making a good argument for Lazatap Reaver, which is also really good. So I think either one of those in that slot. Lazatap Reaver is same mana cost, but you get 2 creatures on the front end. So Orzhov Enforcer is backloaded, but it has Death Touch, which is sort of a nice option to help keep their board state under control if they're coming in with a lot of 3/3s and 4/4s and stuff like that. Just more than you have cats to deal with. So Orzhov Enforcer definitely helps with there. And then we get a Spirit Token, which has flying, which again also helps if they just happen to have a lot of flyers. So I think overall, Orzhov Enforcer for me, for this deck, was the better choice. But Lazatap Reaver is definitely a good choice as well. It's just, like I said, same mana cost, it's front loaded. So you get the guy and you get a zombie, like an Amass 1, a zombie token. So 2 on the front end. And then Priest of Forgotten Gods is one of these 3 are the linchpins to the deck. So these 3 plus, the cat or whatever. But these 3 can just operate on their own. So Priest of Forgotten Gods, just a 1/2 for black and 1. And we can tap to sacrifice 2 other creatures, any number of target players, each lose 2 life, and sacrifice a creature. You add 2 black mana and draw a card. So really good for throwing up a couple of blockers, sacking them to the Priest of Forgotten Gods, making them sack something else. 2 other things get blocked. They had to sack something. They lost 2 life. We drew a card. Pretty good deal. We just sack things like Sanitarium Skeletons, extra cats. You only need 1 cat. You just sack the same cat to 4 ovens if you have it. So multiple cats doesn't do anything extra for you. They're just targets for things like Priest of Forgotten Gods. And then, of course, Corpse Knight gives us an enter the battlefield, our opponent loses a life. And Cruel Celebrant is the exit side of things, except it's a drain. So they lose a life and we gain a life. So really awesome. Once we have Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven, a Corpse Knight, and a Cruel Celebrant, it's going to be game over really quick. I mean, you're getting 2 ETBs, you get the Corpse Knight 1 damage, and then you get the Cauldron Familiar drain, and then you sack it to the oven, and you get the Cruel Celebrant on the way out. The Cauldron Familiar comes back. It's just a gross combo. And Ayara does kind of the same thing. So she has, when she or another black creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses a life, and you gain a life. And she's also really good for, you can sack another black creature and draw a card. So again, something along the same lines as Priest of Forgotten Gods. We can declare a blocker, sack it to Ayara, draw a card, and Bob's your uncle. So and then for Murderous Riders, just really good, right? Like, Murderous Rider is really good, and it gives us sort of creature and removal in 1 card. I love this package. So Swift End, obviously, destroy a creature or planeswalker. We lose 2 life. And then we can cast Murderous Rider later for the 2/2 lifelinker. When it dies, it goes to the bottom of our library, which is, a little bit annoying because we do have Order of Midnight. So it'd be really awesome to sort of, Swift End, throw the Murderous Rider in there, block something, die, bring it back with Order of Midnight. Sadly, that's not the case. But still, really awesome card, really synergistic, works really well in this deck. And then 8 plains, 14 swamps, and 1 Godless Shrine. Now, you may be thinking 8 plains is a lot for a deck that runs 2 creatures that are white, but let me tell you, these 2 are very important to the deck. So you need to have access to white mana. I really would play 3 more Godless Shrines if I could, in which case I would take 3 plains out. But it is what it is. I ran out of rare cards, so if you have access to them, Godless Shrine is really good. I may have mentioned, but if I didn't, also Gutter Bones is a really good option here in replacement of Sanitarium Skeleton. Does a similar effect. Yes, but so I would go down to 5 planes and 4 Godless Shrines if I had them. So if you had them and you're building this deck, that's definitely something you want to strongly consider. Alright, like I said, this deck is really fun, so let's look at some gameplay against some good quality decks, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I've really been excited to play with this deck. A little bit of the strategy behind this deck. So mostly we're going to be draining our opponents. We use our cats and various other creatures to block and then sack them to the oven, sack them to Priest of Forgotten Gods, things of that nature. We're not going to be attacking a whole lot. It's mostly a deck where we just kind of drain our opponents to death. Shin 16, alright, let's see what you got, Shin. This looks like a good keep starting hand, especially since we're on the draw. So we're definitely going to keep this. Okay. Hello. I really do wish there was a few more emotes. I mean, this is pretty limited in what you can say. Not saying there should be anything negative, but it'd be nice to have some more options. Like nice play, or I mean, I guess nice is there, but there's definitely would be some nice option, some better options here. We got another Temple of Mystery. Okay. Priest of Forgotten Gods. We get these two out there next. Let's go to combat. Actually, I guess put out Corpse Knight. Playing against here, Simic Flash. What is this deck? Cool. Oko.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel. I think a little merriment is in order.
Okay. It's fine, we got a Witch's Oven. Got a Swamp. It's -5, exchange control target artifact or creature you control. Okay. Power 3 or less, that's virtually everything in our deck, so that's somewhat annoying. I think we'll just throw the beat down on... We'll go keep him down.
You are fouler than a fiend.
Okay, we're gonna go Witch's Oven. And we'll get the skeleton and the knight out there. Oh. Oh, I tapped wrong. Jeez. Alright, that's my own fault. That is very unfortunate. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. That could actually cost quite a bit. Next turn we could have been counters on the knight. Alright, you're playing a Knight of Ebon Legion. Sure. What are we doing here? Becoming an elk, okay.
Oh dear.
Man, he is so good, eh? Sacking the Familiar to the Witch's Oven, and getting drains from Corpse Knight and Familiar entering the battlefield. Okay, Cruel Celebrant is good. That gives us triggers on entry and exit. Okay, I think we put Priest of Forgotten Gods out there because we're going to want the option to sacrifice stuff if he happens to target it. Celebrate. Okay. We're be doing any attacking. No. Just gonna end our turn, see what he does. It'd be nice if this survives for a round. And make a food with Oko, likely. Yep.
One bite, and all your cares are gone.
Shifting Ceratops, that's fine. Bring it on. Can't give him haste, you don't have mana. Attack with the food token. Oh, no attacks, okay. Well, then we're gonna do our thing. And we got all kinds of triggers. I think we got you this turn. Let's see. Get one from this. Yeah. Now we can sack two things. So we sack the skeleton and the knight to this. You'll lose 2 life. When we draw a card, you sack a creature. And then, yeah, I think we got ya. Targeting a number of players. You don't have mana to do your food. Submit 1. We're gonna do the knight and the skeleton. Go. Good game. Alright, and that's how it's done. Okay, really looking forward to testing this deck out some more. Lilac! Alright, Lilac. Let's get it on. What we got here? Alright, this looks really good actually, and we're on the play. Alright. Hopefully Lilac is playing a good deck. She's got sleeves, so that's nice. Alright, Sanitarium Skeleton, let's go. Hello, Lilac. You know, I wish there was like some more emotes. Like, we need a good morning, like, how'd you sleep kind of emote. Tip our hand right away. What are we playing over here? You got good cards, so I mean you must have. It'd be nice to draw more than land, that's for sure. Alright.
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a big
Control,
deal.
draw a card, untap target permanent. Okay, she's not that concerning. Alright, well we got the oven and the cat now, so this is pretty good. Get this out there. Put the cat out there. Get the oven out there. We're rocking and rolling. I'm tapped out. And we're gonna go for you. Not that concerned about Kiora. Tap target permanent. Alright.
The ocean surges,
I'm
life
casting something big.
thrives.
Destroy all creatures converted mana cost 3 or less. That's pretty sweet. Alright. Okay, I guess we just sack the cat. Oh, I messed that up. I've done that so many times. Like, this is the problem with Arena, right? Okay, so what we have to do now then is just swamp out there. You back out. Sacrifice you to the oven. Yeah, let's play the other oven. Guess we'll wait. Yeah. I'll wait, see if he does anything hasty. Well, I really wish I wouldn't have done that. That was a big mistake. I still feel fine about what's going on here, though.
Nature flows with vigor.
5, what does Neheb do? Combat damage to a player or planeswalker, discard any number of cards. If you do, draw that many cards and add that much. Okay, sure. Draw a card. Okay. I have haste. Trample. Let's do this the right way this time. Okay. Well, we definitely do this. It's actually a pretty good hit. Combat. Trample's kind of sucky, but I mean, we got lots of life. I feel like this should be, you know, over here somewhere or something. It feels like it's in my hand. There's definitely some like things they could work on, but I mean, this is a great game.
Ripples and grows.
Earlier flame. Discard a number of cards and draw that many cards. X damage to each opponent. Each planeswalker they control. Okay. Sure. Resolve. Do you have trample too? Okay. Well, you can't give it haste. Sure. I mean, I still feel comfortable here, but we're gonna know in a minute if I'm alive or not. Drawing a bunch of cards, eh? What are we looking for? This thing's got trample, so no point in blocking it, because I'm gonna be just sacking the cats anyway. No blocks. Damage. Okay. Ooh. That's exciting. Alright. See what happens here now. Discard a bunch more cards, add a bunch of red mana. What are we gonna do? 3 red and a green and black. It's amazing how this deck can hold off some of those powerful decks with just little 1/1s and stuff. Alright, we're gonna do this a couple of times. Oh, wow. That was surprising. I didn't think she was in that much trouble. Good game. Alright, well I really hope you guys enjoyed having a look at this deck. I think it's really awesome, and I'm sure you guys would enjoy playing it too. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And hey, if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so now. We post at least 2 videos every week. Alright, bye for now.